Page 7, Lesson 1-1 is on adding, subtracting, and multiplying decimals. So if we look on page 7, the solve and discuss it. Maxine is making a model windmill for a science fair. She is connecting 4 cardboard tubes together vertically. Each tube is 28 hundredths of a meter in length. What is the combined measure of the connected tubes? So 4 tubes, we're connecting them vertically. We've got a couple different ways that we could do this. So one option, we could say we have 4 of these. Each one is 28 hundredths of a meter long. So one option would be we could just multiply that 28 hundredths times 4. And after you multiply, remember we've got a total of 2 numbers after the decimal point. So if we move 2 places to the left, starting from the end, move 2 places to the left, that would be 1 and 12 hundredths. So 1 and 12 hundredths meters would be our combined length. Another option, multiplication is like repeated addition. So another option instead of that is we could add 28 hundredths, 28 hundredths, 28 hundredths, and 28 hundredths. And you get the same answer either way. Example 1, Kim and Martin swam 50 meters. Martin took 26 hundredths of a second longer than Kim. What was Martin's time in the race? So you can see from the stopwatch here, Kim's time was 50.9 seconds. So if Martin took 26 hundredths of a second longer, then we need to add that on. So 50 and 9 tenths, we need to add on 26 hundredths. The thing is, when we add or subtract, we have to line up our decimal points. And so if you want to, on that top number, you can annex a 0. You can add a 0 at the end. That's the same as 50 and 90 hundredths. And then if we just add those together, that would be 51.16 seconds. One thing the book mentions off to the side here, another thing to consider if you want to, after you work the problem out, you could estimate just to get an idea of about what your answer should be, or if you want to do that first, whatever. A suggestion I would have maybe is just to work the problems out, and then you can go back and estimate if you have time. Like if you're doing a test, it might be good to work the problems out, and then if you have time, you can go back and do estimates to see if your answer is reasonable. So 50 and 9 tenths is close to 51. 26 hundredths, that's close to 3 tenths. And so 51 and 3 tenths. And that's pretty close to the answer that we came up with. So on the try it, suppose that Martin finished the race 47 hundredths of a second after Kim. What was Martin's time in the race? Use an estimate to check that your answer is reasonable. So when we're doing problems like this, anytime we're doing a problem that's got words involved, it's probably good to underline things. And I know sometimes when we do this, it might seem like I'm just underlining the whole problem again, but when you're underlining, sometimes you can be thinking about what you're underlining, and that can help you to understand what you need to do. So they just changed it up a little bit. So it was still 50 and 9 tenths for Kim's time, and we're just adding 47 hundredths to that. So it's really very similar to the problem that we just looked at. So that would be 51 and 37 hundredths seconds. It does say to use an estimate, so an estimate, we could say Again, 50 and 9/10 is close to 51. One other thing, I'm just going to take a different approach here actually. If you'll notice these numbers, we can try and look for the smallest common place value. Like before we annexed a 0, both of them had a tenths. So we could round to the nearest tenth and then just round it that way and then see what we get. So if you do that, the first one's already rounded to the nearest tenth. The second one to the nearest tenth, that would be 5/10. And then if you add those together, that would be 51 and 4/10 seconds. So 51.4, that's pretty close to 51.37, and so that should be good. Example 2, Amy ran a race in 20.7 seconds. Katie finished the race 0.258 seconds before Amy. And so the question is, how long did it take Amy to run the race? So Amy, it says her time was less than, Katie's time was less than Amy's because she finished before Amy. And so we would need to subtract from Amy's time. So same idea, to subtract, we can line up our decimal points, adding and subtracting decimals, line up your decimal points. And then in order to subtract that, we would have to do some borrowing. The book has it worked out. I'll go ahead and write it here just so you can see what would happen. So looking at this last 0, we can't do 0 minus 8, so we have to borrow. The next place value position, there's a 0, so we can't borrow there. So we have to look next door to that. We borrow from the 7, make it a 6. So that's 10. We borrow, makes that a 9, makes that a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. And so 20 and 442 thousandths seconds would be that time. The estimate, they rounded to the nearest tenth here like we did in the last problem. And so nearest tenth, they got 20 and 4/10, and that's pretty close to 20 and 442 thousandths, so that should be a good answer. So if we look at the try it, suppose Katie finished 13/100ths of a second before Amy. And what was Katie's time? So basically, again, the same idea. It's just that we have a different number that we're subtracting here. So Amy was 20.7. So Katie's 13/100ths of a second before that. So line up your decimal points, annex a 0. We can't do 0 minus 3, so we have to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 6 minus 1 is 5. So that would be 20 and 57/100ths seconds. And then the estimate, again, we can round to the nearest tenth. 13/100ths to the nearest tenth, that would just be 1/10. So if you subtract, that would be 20 and 6/10. So that's our estimate. 20 and 57/100ths is pretty close. If you have any difficulties with this, remember for decimals, you can always annex zeros after that, and it's an equivalent decimal. So 20 and 6/10, that's the same as 20 and 60/100ths. And that might make it easier for you to see 20 and 60/100ths is close to 20 and 57/100ths. Example 3, what is the area of this antique map? Use the formula A equals LW to find the area of the map. Okay, so area formula, that's LW means length times width. So if you look at the picture of the map here, we can see the length is 3 25 feet. The width is 2 5/10 feet, so we just need to multiply those together. When you multiply decimals together, you actually don't need to line up your decimal points, because after you multiply, after you add all your partial products together, then we'll figure out at that point where the decimal needs to go. So you can see here, they multiplied. We've got 2 lines. Make sure you remember to do your place value 0 on that second line. So right here, make sure you remember that 0 before you start multiplying the 2 into everything. They added those together, and then if you'll notice, 3 25 there's 2 digits after the decimal point, and 2 5/10, there's 1 digit after the decimal point. So that's a total of 3, and then that means we move our decimal 3 places to the left. So the area is 8.125 square feet. 8 125 thousandths square feet is the area of the map. So if you look at the try it says how do you determine where to place the decimal point? We already talked about that. So here we can just fill in the blanks here. 4300ths has 2 decimal places, 2/10 has 1 decimal place, and so that's a total of 3 decimal places, and that's why they moved the decimal over 3 spots. And then if you need to, you can annex zeros. Technically, as you work that out, if you actually go all the way to multiplying by that 0 in front, you won't necessarily have to annex a 0. And if you want to multiply by the 0, you can. Obviously, you know 0 times anything is just going to be 0, but if you want to do that line also, you can.